I think I liked Mother Mary? Let's decide in a spoiler-free, no-hype review. What's up, cretins? What's up, creeps? My name is Chris. I'm the only person talking horror on the internet. Hit the sub, help me get to 5K before my 2-year anniversary this June. Anne Hathaway stars as Mother Mary, a pop superstar readying herself for her big comeback performance following a devastating accident. She reunites with Sam Anselm, her original dress designer and long-forgotten best friend, to create a new look for the show. Mary's insecurity and Sam's resentment bubble up. There's your movie. Alright, let's bring this up so that we can break this down. David Lowery, director of Pete's Dragon and Peter Pan and Wendy for Disney, leaves his commercial work to the side and adds to his A24 catalog of A Ghost Story and The Green Knight with Mother Mary. And whether he's on a commercial or an artistic outing, there's no denying that Lowery knows how to construct a film. He has a vision and he's a master of world building. However, with Mother Mary, at times I feel like he overestimates how long we should stay in a particular scene, and he underestimates how long we can go without the horror elements to his horror story. Case in point, and these aren't spoilers, but it's maybe a half hour into the movie where Anne Hathaway performs a dance that's kinda Suspiria 2018. And this is the first time that Mother Mary as a film feels horror. But even then, it's only kinda horror. I actually wrote it off to me misinterpreting the scene because it reverts back to the mumblecore conversations that were fueling the movie prior to the dance sequence immediately afterwards. This movie is a lot of just two people talking in a room. I honestly thought that I wouldn't be reviewing it because it doesn't really reveal itself as a horror movie until late second act, more than an hour into the film. 12 out of 15. Michaela Cole as Sam turns out one of the best performances that I have seen so far this year. I would go as far as to say Oscar-worthy. And Anne Hathaway as Mary is outstanding in showing a damaged vulnerability in the scenes that they share together, which is the majority of the movie. However, as much as I thought of Anne Hathaway as Mary, and despite the fact that she performs and dances and sings the songs, I never bought into her onstage counterpart, Mother Mary. Like, she's got the moves, she's got the pipes, but she lacks the presence that somebody who's a legit pop star like Lady Gaga or Miley Cyrus would have brought to the role. The acting should be a solid 15 out of 15, no questions asked, given the talent on board, but I think this lands closer to a 12. I didn't like the pacing of the screenplay. Yes, the dialogue is well written and it's very well performed, but again, a lot of times I was begging for them to get to the fucking point. Or at least clue me into the fact that there will be a fucking point. Plus, the hour-long stretch before you know that this is a horror movie doesn't work for me. I mean, it's an hour of talking about a dress, and yes, other things come of that, but the jump scare crowd expecting a horror movie will walk out before it reveals itself as such. Additionally, for everything that it builds, the monologue that concludes the film thinks itself triumphant, but it comes across as clunky and juvenile. 8 out of 15. The scariness of Mother Mary is such a tough call, and that's largely because the disturbing imagery that makes it a horror movie is really maybe only a 30-minute segment of a near 2-hour movie. And it doesn't feel like a Rosemary's Baby thing where we're always building towards it and there's always something lingering. It really just feels like they turn a blind corner into and out of being a horror movie. Those scarier parts maybe hit a 6 out of 10, but they feel more like a beat to the movie in lieu of being the actual movie, so I'm docking it to a 3 out of 10. Aesthetically, this is a gorgeous film. I love the lighting during the conversations between Mary and Sam. I love how cold it looks during Mary's dance sequence and the look of it in general. The portrayal of the ghost in the movie is not something that's going to work for everybody, but for me, I was personally awestruck. The music by Jack Antonoff and FKA Twigs was dark and moody with a pop sensibility. Overall, aesthetics are probably the strongest suit that the film has, 9 out of 10. I would have liked more beats to the story, or maybe just stronger beats to the story. It all comes together fine and there's layers beneath it, but I don't think that there are satisfying answers to all of the questions presented. There will be people that view this as a 110-minute movie about making a dress, and I do think that they linger on that aspect too much to say that those people are wrong or short-sighted in that assessment. 6 out of 10. There's not really kills, and further, if you're somebody who's into horror for the kills, this is absolutely not your movie. 0 out of 10. I do feel that Mother Mary is a very original film from a very original voice in horror. You would be hard-pressed to find something else that resembles it exactly. 5 out of 5 for originality. There wasn't an abundance of things that I loved about Mother Mary, but there was a lot that intrigued me. Like, I do want to rewatch it to examine it more, but I don't want to sit through it. So I think that that dichotomy lands us right smack dab in the middle at a 3 out of 5. Similarly, when Mother Mary takes off, it soars, but you have to do an excessive amount of waiting for it to soar. So it's like a chore that has a good payoff, but it doesn't change the fact that it's some work to get to that payoff. 3 out of 5. So overall, these add up to a possible 100 points, and when I chainsaw this off, your Massa score for Mother Mary is 61 out of 100. It had all of the elements to be a modern classic, but some risks and some non-traditional decisions stand in the way of its own greatness. Can't fault them for trying. Kindred Spirits, The Night House, Saint Maud, Suspiria 2018. That's all I got for you, cretins. That's gonna do it for today, creeps. Do all these things. Let me know if you saw Mother Mary and what you thought of it right over here. And as always, this is all just a matter of opinion. See it yourself, make your own decisions, remain critical, support horror.